My mother put me out with the rubbish when I was 2 weeks old. This is where my life started.
A social worker came. I asked her, please don't take him, but she did.
Every year, thousands of people come to us looking for missing family.
My dad left my life. I know nothing. I feel like half of me is missing.
Sometimes it's to solve a mystery that's troubled them for decades.
I've had in the back of my mind that my mum could have been murdered.
She took this to her grave.
Or to end the torment of what they don't know.
I've struggled with a sense of self because of my background.
Did she genuinely really not want me?
So, imagine the moment when the burning questions can finally be answered.
It's Davina. Put the kettle on.
Yes! It's just blowing my mind.
In this series, we discover extraordinary stories.
That's your mum?
God, she's lovely.
Finding people around the world who nobody else could trace.
Barry, it's massive.
How you doing? I waited 43 years for that hug.
Reuniting families who've spent a lifetime apart.
Flipping heck. Hello, family.
Our first story tonight follows a man who had a tough childhood. He seldom saw the people who he thought were his family. And when he started looking for answers nearly 60 years later, he was shocked by what he discovered.
My brothers are all these ginger Irish kids with very pale skin and freckles, and I would tan. You create a persona, but that doesn't mean that's who you really are. I thought I was one of them, but growing up in a care system, you sort of latch onto any kind of relative, I suppose. Ooh, nice.
Former amateur boxer Paul Connolly is a father of two and a successful entrepreneur who runs his own fitness and rehabilitation business.
I've got a great life now. I love the fact that I've been able to give my kids everything I never had. Why is that jab hand so low? With both of my sons, it was paramount that they never felt insecure or lonely, or that desperation that I felt.
You've done really well. Well done.
I felt loneliness as a child, which was like a physical pain. It's like painful to be that alone. So for my kids, I'm always making sure they know I'm there. Cheeky sod.
Paul was born in East London in 1962, the eighth child of an Irish family who'd moved to London in the 1950s.
So this is the first time I've ever been here, obviously since I was a baby. I actually know quite a lot about my early childhood because when you grow up in the care system, you can read your files. Wow. It's amazing. I learned that my mother had some kind of breakdown when I was born, and she put me out with the rubbish when I was 2 weeks old. Lucky enough, one of the other neighbours heard my cries and called social services. She literally, according to my files, just shoved me out here somewhere. So, yeah, it's quite emotional being here, because this is where my life started.
Growing up, Paul had sporadic contact with his mother and siblings, but spent his early years in homes for young children, until at the age of 8, he was sent to St Leonard's Children's Home in Hornchurch.
A social worker came and got me, and I had my little suitcase packed up, and he took me to this children's home. And I just remember this huge place, and just walking down this massive driveway. It's very spooky for me to be back here because there's a terrible energy here for me. There was a lot of sexual abuse, there was a lot of mental torture, and there was a lot of physical beatings. And I didn't sleep in a bed for about 3 years. I just slept under the bed. It's like most kids would have a teddy bear. My comfort was a kitchen knife with a wooden handle. That was my comfort. I held on to that for dear life, you know.
On leaving the children's home, Paul got mixed up in a criminal gang.
It was a very dark time, which culminated with me nearly getting 10 years in prison. It was a huge wake-up call for me, and I got away from that world. I was like, this is not meant for me.
That's when Paul and a friend joined a boxing club, and he finally felt he belonged.
It was one of the best things we ever did, because they just wanted the best for the kids, and it was the first sort of family we knew, you know.
Paul always wanted to know more about his own family, and recently he decided to research his background.
This is my birth certificate, which says I was born in 1962. Father was Matthew Connolly, mother was Mary Connolly. My son's bought me a DNA test, because I've always said, you know, I really want to look into my Irish background.
When Paul uploaded his DNA to a genealogy website, the results he got back were unexpected.
So basically the DNA's come back with a straight down the middle, 50-50, 50% Irish, 50% Maltese, which is astounding. The minute I saw half Maltese, the first name that popped into my head was Pino. In the 60s, this wasn't a supermarket. It was a big newsagent. It was owned by this Maltese guy called Pino, who's quite a character, apparently. And my mum used to obviously frequent this place, just coming from round the corner here. And my brother used to say, you know Pino's your dad, right? And I used to laugh at him, thinking it was some kind of joke. Pino's my dad? I didn't have any real contact with my mother, but I had a couple of conversations with her, and this was never mentioned to me. And obviously, this was a secret she probably took to the grave, yeah. I know very little about Pino. I don't hold out much hope that he's alive, unfortunately. I want to know for sure who my father was, because I still don't know. I want to know if there are relatives out there that, you know, I could have some kind of relationship with. For me, it's important to find out that side of my family, because I still, at 60 years old, don't know where I come from or who I am.
Without being certain of Paul's father's name, we widened the DNA analysis, putting his DNA onto 3 further databases. And one yielded a match to a man called Frankie Peroni, and the match indicated that Frankie is Paul's half-brother. We wrote to Frankie, and he was able to tell us that his father was a Maltese shop owner named Philip Seiler, also known as Pino, who had died many years ago. This confirmed that Pino was Paul's father. Frankie is one of 3 children that Pino had with another Irish woman. Frankie's invited me to meet him at his home in Southend. Paul will be delighted to discover that he has a big brother on his father's side. But did Frankie know anything about Paul? And how does he feel about his brother finding him? Frankie has 2 grown-up daughters and runs his own IT business. Hi, Frankie, it's Nicky.
Hi, Nicky, come on up.
Thank you. He's also a semi-professional singer-songwriter.
Hey, Nicky, you all right?
Yeah.
Come in.
Thanks for having me. What do you make of it all, the news?
It's a little bit of a shock. It's exciting as well.
Yeah, it took a while to process, didn't it? Yeah.
Definitely.
What was your childhood like?
Well, I didn't really know my father that well. He sort of came in and out of my mother's life. Didn't actually live with her.
Do you remember his physical presence, Pino?
I just remember one incident when I was a child. And he sent me to the shops to get him a packet of cigarettes. And I come back with the wrong brand. And he took his belt off and he belted me across the back as a 6-year-old child.
That's awful.
It does scar you. And then my mother became ill. And I was sent out to Ireland. Then my father died in 1968. So she had all of that.
Pino?
Well. Yeah, Pino died in 1968. And then my mother came and got me. She became ill after that as well. So I had to be fostered throughout the UK to different foster parents. And during that time, I got in with the wrong people, you know, criminal offences. And it wasn't until I had a social worker assigned to me that I got a job when I was about late 15. And from then on, I was okay. Because once I got that job, I knew I wanted to work.
There are so many parallels between your life and your brother's life.
Really?
Well, you've got an Irish Catholic mother, right?
Yes.
He's got an Irish mother.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. Very interesting.
And also, he had a dreadfully difficult and sad childhood. And at 2 weeks old, he was just left and dumped outside the house. A 2-week-old baby.
No.
Yeah, and so he went into care. He lived in care all his life. And at one stage was in a children's home in Hornchurch, which was really notorious. There was a lot
in Hornchurch?
Yeah.
Where I used to live?
Yeah.
That's where I moved from to here last year.
No kidding.
Yes. That's incredible.
You said you got in with the wrong crowd. You got in with a bad crowd.
Yeah.
So did he. And one of the things that kind of saved him at that period in his life was he got into boxing.
I went to boxing at Repton Club when I was a kid.
No.
In Bethnal Green, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't very good at it. But yeah, I went to boxing. Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing.
He lives in Ballyricky.
Ballyricky? That's not too far away either, is it? Wow. I can't believe it. So, does he have any resemblance to me at all? In any way?
That's up for you to decide once you've seen the picture, right?
You've got a photo of him?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh my God. Separated at birth. My God. Wow. That's incredible. I'm thinking it's very spooky, the parallels here. It makes me want to meet him more now.
But before we tell Paul the news of his brother, we take on an extraordinary request from another searcher. Most of the time, people come to us searching for a parent, a sibling, or a child they've had to give up. But this time, our task was to find an entire family.
Ready? That's it. Good one.
Why was I giving up? When I found out that my birth parents got married the year after I was adopted, and then to see that they'd had 2 daughters, it just blew my mind. I have a birth mother and father and 2 sisters, and we're all from the same family. Yeah, I'm not part of it.
No. And... Oh.
54-year-old Sean Lawrence is a school site manager and former fireman.
I've got 2 children, Charlie and Chloe, 23 and 22. Charlie lives locally and we see each other every week.
You look so blonde there.
Sean grew up in Kent in the late 1960s and 70s.
You are still very tiny
I
there.
was adopted at about 5 months. Now this is where definitely getting a bit older. I enjoyed my childhood. My adopted mum and dad loved me, they looked after me. It was special and still is. Granddad's grey hair and dark moustache. I first found out that I was adopted about the age of 10. I remember my mum and dad saying to me, "You were chosen, we have adopted you." And I guess at that kind of age, I didn't really understand what that meant. As time then progressed, it became more important for me to find out burning questions about why, who are you, where are you?
17 years ago, Sean tried to find out why he was given up for adoption.
This is a certified copy of my birth certificate. Here it shows my mother's full name, Eileen Catherine Jean. She was a student nurse. My birth father isn't recorded.
Hoping to track down his birth father, Sean decided to get hold of his adoption paperwork and made another unexpected discovery.
It's my birth father's name, William John Lockett. My birth parents actually stayed together and then decided to get married a year after my birth, which was quite a surprise, if I'm honest. I didn't expect that at all.
Four-year-old Sean Lawrence made an extraordinary discovery when he got hold of his adoption paperwork. A year after his birth parents gave him up, they got married.
I'm not a child that was born in a relationship that didn't continue. It did continue. In fact, it went on to become something more that I wasn't around for. And I thought, well, I wonder if they ever had any children. And I kept looking. And in 1973, some 4 years later, they had a daughter, Michelle. And then, incredibly again after that, the following year, they had another daughter, Natalie, which means I have 2 sisters. The questions that are going through my head are, could you have not hold on to me? I wonder if you had your chances again, you'd have kept me. They brought me into this world. And I don't want to leave this world without ever knowing.
By the time Sean came to us, he knew the names of his entire birth family, but he wasn't able to find them anywhere. We focused on his birth mother, Eileen. Our research revealed that she and Sean's birth father got divorced in 1980 and she remarried. When we searched under her new married name, we made a breakthrough. Eileen was still alive, as was Sean's birth father, and both his sisters. As John and Eileen no longer live with each other, I've arranged to meet Eileen and their daughters. All through his life, Sean has been plagued with unanswered questions. What happened? Why was he given up? And has his birth family forgotten him? I'm hoping that Eileen and her daughters, his full sisters, Michelle and Natalie, can shed some light. Hi Eileen. How are you doing? Lovely to meet you. Eileen has a rare neurological condition called PSP, which affects her voice and eyes. Hi everyone.
Hello, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. You all right?
Michelle, Natalie.
Hi.
Michelle.
Nice to
Hi,
meet you.
Michelle. It's lovely to meet you.
Hi, you.
And you?
And Eileen, thank you very much for having me in your home. This is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was it like when you first heard the news that Sean has been looking for you?
I was really overwhelmed and really excited and happy.
What's it like for you two?
Quite excited, quite shocked that it's sort of come out of the blue now. We wanted to find him years ago, but we didn't get too far.
Because of the way that the adoption was, Mum really felt that she had no right to look for him. But when we wanted to find him, Mum actually said that she would support us in that.
Oh, so you did actually think about collectively looking for him?
Yeah.
Yeah. How old were you when you got pregnant?
I was 18. I was nursing at the time, and when I found out I was pregnant, I had to leave my job.
In those days, you weren't allowed to stay once you were pregnant.
Oh, I see.
So then she had nowhere else to go.
What did your parents say about it?
I didn't feel I could go home. They were very old school, and I felt really alone.
Did you and John consider looking after Sean and giving it a go?
Well, we did try to, but obviously we couldn't get anywhere to live.
They couldn't rent a flat. You weren't allowed to have a baby in a flat. So they felt like there was no options at all for them.
I was in a mother and baby home. 6 weeks I looked after him.
What were those 6 weeks like?
Well, it was lovely to look after him, but hard to give him up. Made it really difficult. I didn't feel I had any choice.
Absolutely. Completely understand that.
I felt really hopeless and helpless in the situation I was in.
And it must have been tough for John, who you later went on to marry.
I think it was very hard for both of us.
Just can't wait to see what he looks like.
Well, do you want to see a picture?
Oh, yeah. Oh, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Got kind eyes, hasn't he? Wow.
He looks like Dad, doesn't he?
Yeah. My son. It's a miracle, really. I'm so excited to meet him.
He has written a letter for you in case we found you. Would you like to read it?
I would, yes, please.
Dear Eileen, firstly, I would like you to know that I am loved, cared for, and have been well looked after for as long as I can remember. I have been blessed with a childhood and a life which I consider have been amazing, but I always felt different, somehow outside, incomplete. There are times when I would cry myself to sleep. I have not really spoken about this before. Bless it. You are my mother. That is incredibly important to me. I would like to get to know you, maybe have a relationship, fill the gap, a void. I hope you are well and are able to meet and help me answer the questions. More importantly, to meet you. Thank you for listening, Sean.
You're right, Mum. Yeah, okay.
What will this mean to your father, if I may ask?
He's overwhelmed by it as well.
He's really, really excited to meet him, and that's why he wants to be there for the reunion too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's wonderful news for Sean.
Yeah.
He's come back to see me, and that's wonderful.
After a difficult start to life in care, Paul Connolly is searching for the truth about his identity.
I felt loneliness as a child, which was like a physical pain. And still, at 60 years old, don't know where I come from or who I am.
It will come as a huge relief to Paul to know for sure who his father was. And today I can also give him the wonderful news that we found his brother.
Hi,
Hey,
Davina.
Paul.
Come in.
Thanks. Thanks very much. Well, thanks for talking to me. How have you been?
Apprehensive, to say the least. You know, not really sure what to expect.
Well, we did discover that your father was Pino.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I know that you were pretty sure that he'd probably passed, and I'm really sorry to say that, unfortunately, you were right about that.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that Pino had 3 children with another woman in the East End of London around the time of your birth.
Really?
Yeah.
I've no idea.
What does that mean to you?
It means a hell of a lot. Yeah.
So we have found Frankie, your brother.
Frankie?
He's 62.
It's just blowing my mind. Wow. Frankie. And does he live in Malta or does he live in London? He lives in England. No. He lives here. What, in London?
He lives in Southend,
You're joking.
about 14 miles away.
It's down the road. How is that possible?
I have got a picture of him if you'd like to see it.
Oh, yeah.
That's your brother.
It does look like...
He does.
Wow. Jesus, it's unbelievable.
Well, sadly, Frankie's memories of Pino aren't brilliant ones. And he does remember Pino being quite violent towards him.
Oh, dear.
So you guys, not only are you similar in age, but you have had very, very similar upbringings. His mother is also Irish Catholic.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Then when he was little, his mum shipped him to Northern Ireland to go and live with the grandparents because she just couldn't cope.
Yeah.
And when Frankie came back to the UK, he ended up going into care and being fostered.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a similar story, isn't it?
It's so similar to yours.
Oh, my God. It's unbelievable.
So he became a bit of a bad boy.
Oh, really?
But he did have a turning point in his life. And he started working. And he loved it. And he's done really well.
Oh, it's amazing. Got so much in common. Someone never met.
Frankie is really looking forward to meeting you.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he? Oh,
He's really pleased.
He wants to meet me. That's good. This is it's family, right? I mean, I don't know why you can tell so much from a picture, but I just know we get on. I know that's a weird thing to say. It's from a picture. It's amazing. Thank you.
Paul and Frankie are meeting in Essex, midway between their homes.
It's quite a big deal today. It's not every day you meet a brother you never knew you had. There's excitement mixed with some apprehension as well, obviously, because it's the unknown, isn't it? Yeah.
What's going through my mind right now? Nerves, to be honest, and excitement. The thought that I've got a brother out there is incredible.
I'm starting from a blank sheet with Frankie, so it's a new relationship. Hopefully it's one that will blossom and we will complement each other. Hello, bro. Come on. You all right? You all right? Yeah. Lovely to see you. Finally. Yeah, lovely. Wow, it's amazing, isn't it? Look in the mirror. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe it. I don't know where to start, to be quite honest. I know. There's so much, isn't there, we need to discuss. But yeah, it's incredible. And so you grew up in Hornchurch, did you? Grew up all over the place, mainly in Clapton, Shoreditch, all around that area, and then we moved into Dagenham, and from there, like... I went to school in Dagenham. Did you? What school? Bishop Ward. You didn't go to Bishop Ward, did you? Oh, God. I went to Bishop Ward, yes. Yeah, so did I. I can't believe that. So you went to the same school as me? Yeah, all boys Catholic, yeah. Oh, my God. That is just freaky, isn't it? I can't believe that. Yeah, we're in the same school. Same time. Why did it take you so long to find me? Exactly. Meeting Frankie, you know, I couldn't have wished for more, really. I'm totally overwhelmed. I'm feeling so euphoric and excited inside that, you know, we have finally connected, and it feels good. It feels really good. I was hoping you lived in Vegas, though, because I'd prefer a trip out there. That's what I said. I said, what? I said, Westcliff? What? It's only one casino. It'd be wonderful to actually be part of each other's lives and our families to get to know each other and have that connection that, for us, we've never had. That's Gemma, my daughter, and that's Isla, my granddaughter. Paul is my blood, and it feels incredible. It feels natural, to be honest. Yeah. It feels like I know him already. And that's my other daughter, Katie. Oh, nice. Oh, gee! I think he's going to get on really well with the kids. The kids will love him, yeah. This is your Uncle Frankie. Nice to meet you, Nice to meet you, mate. Lovely guy. Daddy's brother. Of course, it's later in life that we found each other, but at the same time, I think you just got to be grateful for every day. Do you think I look like your dad?
Definitely.
I started out looking for my father, and instead I found a brother. So the future's bright, as they say.
Sean Lawrence is determined to find out what happened to his birth family following his adoption 54 years ago. It must be extraordinary as an adopted person to find out that your birth parents went on to have more children together. So the news I'm going to give Sean today is big. Both his parents and his sisters have been found, and they can't wait to welcome him into the family. Hey, Sean.
Hi, Davina. Nice to see you.
And you.
Come in.
Thank you. Thanks for talking to me, Sean. I was just going to ask, first off, what it is that's driving you to search now.
It's a difficult one, really. As I've got older, it's become more and more important to me because I want to understand. And I know that having two daughters, there's nothing on earth that would separate me from them, no matter what the circumstances. But I'm not naive enough to think that it's as simple as that.
Well, I've got some information for you, because your family's been found.
Amazing. They're all okay? That's good. Oh, what do I say?
Just go.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we'll start at the beginning.
Okay.
So your mum and dad met when she was 17,
Right.
and he was 26. And then when she was 18, she fell pregnant. He made no money, and there was nothing in place for them to be able to care for a child. They had no security, living in separate places. It was a very, very hard time for them. What are you thinking?
Well, that must have been incredibly difficult. You never quite know what the circumstances are.
But you were never forgotten. Never. So they went and lived in Chester, and they decided to have a family when they felt more settled, and the girls knew about you.
Really?
Yeah. The girls were desperate to find you.
Really?
Your parents were a bit worried that if they came to find you, maybe you didn't know, would they unsettle you? So they just kind of thought, no, sit tight, he'll come. So your mum and dad split up.
Yeah, I was aware.
But they're still friends.
Good.
So, Sean, have you ever wondered what they look like?
Don't tell me you've got a picture as well, of course. Yes, I have, yeah.
Would you like to see?
Yes, I would.
So, I've got two separate pictures.
Okay.
The first one is of your birth mother and your two sisters, Michelle and Natalie. They look lovely, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Definitely see the resemblance. Can see it, definitely. Thank you.
And here is one of your birth father.
Oh. That's where I get the curly hair from.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Thank you.
I was loved.
And they've not forgotten me. I'm intrigued, excited. I want to find out. Hearing their voices for the first time, seeing them for real.
How are you feeling, Dad? Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Bit anxious?
A little bit apprehensive. A little bit. Yeah.
I'm feeling very anxious. Such a big thing, isn't it?
I think I just want to give him a hug.
Of course, it's not just my birth parents. I'm meeting 2 sisters. Full blood sisters.
You are. Hmm?
I am, yeah.
It's been a long time waiting for this. It's really here, right now.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Nothing to apologise for.
I never thought this day would ever come.
Yeah, me neither. Yes, amazing.
It is. Good to see you, Dad.
Oh. Excuse me if you're not standing up.
Oh, that's all right. That's fine. Okay.
Forgive me.
Hang on. It's fine. You okay? Oh. Oh, dear, oh dear. You happy?
Yes, I'm very happy to see you.
It's been an incredible journey. I'm wondering what's been going on and what happened.
It was different 50 years ago. Things were hard. It was all my fault. I made the biggest mistake of my life.
Don't.
You know?
Don't. To hear that I was loved and that you continued to think about me, to talk about me, meant so much. Because all of a sudden I mattered.
Of course you did.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Sean. You must be Sean.
You're right. Yeah. You too? Good?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Grab a chair. I was supposed to cry. Big brother. To find out the things I found out in the last few weeks has just been life-changing, really.
Hello.
So, this is my girl. This is Eileen.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
I could never have expected it to have worked out as well as it has.
This is your Uncle Sean.
There's a whole group of people, a whole another family which I'm part of. It's changed something inside of me forever.
Having him in our lives again It's amazing.
I was loved and I'm still loved by a bigger group of people that I call my family.
If a family member is missing from your life and you'd like the Long Lost Family team to help, you can apply to the programme at longlostfamily.tv.